Welcome back, Outlaws. On this episode, we're going to be headed down to Point Loma in San Diego, California to hang out with Outlaw Kenny and Tiki Dan while Dan carves a tiki. So stay tuned. We're really happy that you could drop in on this episode as we hang out with Tiki Dan as he explains how he got into carving tikis, what he does to the tiki, and a little history behind them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Irish beer?
Like carve maybe?
Harp?
Yeah.
That's a good beer.
Yeah, it's a lot lighter and you're such an artist.
Oh, thank you. I've been doing this so long.
Well, you're good at it. So.
Well, I appreciate it. Wait till you see this. I'm going to carve another face right there today. And then I'm going to carve probably something below here. And then I'm going to sand it and then probably urethane it,
Well,
so.
art on,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Dude, you know what's so crazy? My mom was a school teacher.
Watching Dan carve this tiki was simply amazing. He does it freestyle. He doesn't have any drawings or any pictures. He just goes for it. I don't even trip. It's me. It's all fun. He's like a. All right, we're here with Tiki Dan, and he's carving a tiki. Check that out. So how long you been doing this?
Oh, probably about 29 years, 28, 29 years.
How'd you get started doing this? I mean,
Well, that's a good question. When I was younger, I used to go up to Alaska and work on the boats, and I'd always come down through Seattle and see all the totem poles. And as a kid, I used to go to Big Bear and see the carved bears, and so I always wanted to work with bears. Work with wood, and carve stuff. And I grew up down here in San Diego surfing, so I used to see the stuff in Hawaii too. And I just love the tiki thing, which was similar to the Native American totem poles in Alaska. And then when I started my tree company, I had all this extra wood lying around one day, and I just said, hey, I want to learn how to carve. And so I tried to carve a bear, and it didn't come out as good as I thought it looked, terrible. But then just with practice, I got better, and then I just then I got into the tikis because of one of my good buddies, Dave, he got me into it. And actually, I was into it way before him, but I just love the whole tikis because each tiki has a different meaning, and they have a different headdress and different, there's always some story behind each one, and the totem pole's the same thing. And I got really good with the chainsaw carving, and it's just fun to make beautiful art out of just basically, to me, it used to be just a tree I'd use for firewood or to take to the dump. And now I make beautiful art of it. So it's just, every time I do it, it makes me feel better about, making something beautiful for one of my customers or for myself. So.
Yeah, it's like nothing's going to waste.
Exactly.
We top the tree off, and you're tuning into a beautiful work of art.
Yeah, and now I can basically carve anything. Back in the early days, I can only carve like 2 different styles of tikis, and a bear and maybe a small eagle or something. Now I can literally carve anything. I've done stuff for Comic-Con, done stuff for the Cartoon Network, done a lot of amazing. I've done as big as a 37-foot totem pole. So I really enjoy, Day of the Dead stuff, suns, moons, hawks, eagles, whatever you want. So.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you. I was like, what is the tallest one that you have carved?
Probably close to 40 feet. And I've done them both standing upright while they were rooted in the ground and lying on the ground where we propped them up. So I've done them in different types too, cedars, pines, and palm. And I mostly did them Native American style, but I've done one Hawaiian too. I did 6 or 7 different faces going up, and each face had a different meaning. And if you ever look up totem poles of each animal, as far as the ones I carve in, the poles represented, and protect the people from evil spirits or give them, good energy and good karma. So it's all about good vibes,
right?
And good, energy, and also they also guide people too. They give them guidance. A lot of totem poles are put right on the front of the village, and they tell people, hey, this is what we did. We were fishermen, we were hunters, and then in Hawaii, a lot of them were warriors. So, I got Ku right here. Ku's the war god, and that's a really big tiki in Hawaii. And then, other ones protected them with agriculture and then with the ocean as well, salt water, fresh water. So it's great. It's just a great way to show the, or if someone's really into the sun god or the moon god or the dolphin, the shark god, there's a tiki for everything, and each one of them will protect the people from danger or give them good juju.
Good mojo.
Yeah, good mojo.
Right on. Now, if somebody wanted to maybe hire you to give them or make them a tiki, what would be the best way to contact you?
Well, I would just go on Instagram. I do have my phone number up on Instagram. Or you could just, call my number. It's on Instagram.
What's your Instagram?
TIKI Dan SD or TIKI Dan Bialk, Bialk, and then it comes up with a picture of me with my sunglasses. But yeah, you can just put TIKI Dan or TIKI Dan Bialk, Bialk, and then my number is 414-943-6250. So, but yeah, usually, if anything you want, whether it's, I can do stools, tiki bars. I build tiki bars, and it's also for any kind of animal you want. Whatever you want, I can do. And I have the wood, or if you have a tree at your yard that maybe you don't want anymore, I can turn that into a cool tiki as well.
That's cool. And I'll also go ahead in the description, get your Instagram and your contact info in there. So if people watch the video, they want to contact you, could do that also.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with me is so many people don't realize that I can make something really beautiful for them out of their own tree that maybe they don't want anymore. Because, you know, a lot of people don't realize they have these stupid palm trees in their yard that are messy, or some big pepper tree or something, and it's just a nuisance after a while, and I can literally turn that into, you know, a big table, or a big, bear, or a big, owl, or whatever you want, a big butterfly.
That's cool.
So anyways, I'm gonna get back.
Yeah, I'll let you get back to it. At the end of the video, I added a really cool time lapse that shows Dan doing the entire tiki. Dan is an incredibly talented artist, and if you'd like to see more of his work, please leave a comment in the comments section below, and we just may go on a local tiki tour.
They love and respect turtles.
The Hano.
Ohana means family. They're very family people. And they also really love the ocean. So anything to symbolize the ocean, dolphins, starfish, is all real positive vibes with Hawaiian people. Now I'm going to carve another face on the very bottom.
It was a really awesome experience hanging out with my friends Kenny and Dan while Dan brought this incredible tiki to life. I felt this somewhat of a spiritual experience. As I watched the tiki come to life, I felt somehow connected to it.
This one was done like 20 something years ago. And and this one's not polyurethane, and then I started polyurethane. See this one's polyurethane, that one's not.
Yeah.
See? So it gives it this beautiful, like, pecan luster, so it doesn't even look like palm.
This one too.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do with this one. I'm gonna put probably two or three different coats on. But yeah, so you can see how beautiful it shines up. And then here's one that's darker, and then here's one that's not polyurethane. So some people like them all weathered and rustic, like this one. This one has just a black stain on, not a polyurethane. Okay, and then other people like them, with just a light. This has a really light coat of polyurethane on. So it's just, I put them on now because I love the way they look. They have that beautiful. Yeah, so that's one of my very first ones I did. a skull type tiki, and that's totally not polyurethane.
There's the KGB chicken.
So I did him. He's a good friend of mine. He lives in our neighborhood, by the way. Did you know that? Ted Gianolis.
Ted Gianolis, yeah.
He lives right up off Goldcrest, and he is the nicest guy in the world.
Indian, that one's
There's
cool.
Indian. I do stuff for Comic-Con. I've done Superman, Batman. There's the Wolverine.
Nice mermaid.
Mermaids. Every woman wants a mermaid.
I think every man does too.
Right? Of course they do. There's this when the Pirates of the Caribbean were going on. I was doing all these skull things.
Yeah. That's cool.
There's another Indian. But you can see the difference when you put the polyurethane on. It just looks completely amazing. There's a Native American. I do some Native American work. This one, it's all painted. Some people like them with color. There's me when I was younger. See? My brother actually is a cartoonist. He did the Powerpuff Girls. He put me in the Powerpuff Girls. There's me right here. I'm actually a cartoon character.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So I am actually infamous because I am a cartoon character. But I am better known as Tiki Dan. But yeah, you can see how beautiful with the stain. All right. So I'm almost done carving, and now I'm going to finish cutting the teeth in and then skin the top. And then after that, I sand it with my angle grinder sander. And then I usually use a torch and burn it to get the black in. But I do use black spray paint now most of the time because it's a little quicker. But that's that's just something that just brings out the depth. And then I resand it again or burn it. And then after that, I put in a coat of polyurethane, and I usually use some stain with the polyurethane. Pecan or classic oak or cherry or sometimes just a clear coat, if the wood has a lot of pigment in it. This is palm, so it's more of a light wood, so I do like a little stain on it. If it was a piece of hardwood like cedar or redwood, I would probably just use a clear coat because it has natural pigments in it that bring it out. And but that's about it. So
Well,
finish.
it's looking great. And just got some more finished work to do down in here and clean it up a little bit.
Yep. So, one step at a time, but it's getting there. And I will be sanding it and blackening in next.
All right.
Well, yeah, it's crazy. My buddy, he imports and exports from Indonesia, so he used to sell at the Costa Mesa swap. I wish they wouldn't have left.
So what color we got going on here?
Oh, this is pecan. This is one of my most favorite colors. I use 3 different types mostly. Classic oak, pecan, and I also use like a red maple or a pine, kind of the type of pine. But mostly pecan, just because it has like a golden brown. And there's even some that have kind of like like cedar, like almost like a reddish little tint. This is more of a brownish tint, and it's just absolutely great because you can see the grains, in the wood, and it's just really brings out the color of the wood. Because normal palm is white, and when it ages, it turns gray. So it's kind of drab looking. But when you put this on, it looks like a piece of hardwood. It actually looks like a piece of pecan or cedar or redwood or something like that. did the whole tiki. This is touch up right here. Look at that beautiful color. I think Kenny really appreciates all the time I've spent making this look so beautiful. And this will definitely give him some good luck so he can just have that good energy and good karma so he can spread it to new people, and with his music and his wonderful personality.
Lay it on thick. Lay it on thick, Tiki.
That's how I do it with all the women. You know, you have to tell them they're pretty, you know. And even though they might not be that pretty today, you still tell them, because it's just it just gives them some courage and positive, vibes. All right, tiki's done. We got 3 faces here. We got the water god, we got the war god, we got the pineapple god, which means welcome, and we got the chill, fucking happy god up there. And each face represents protection and just good energy for anyone who is around it, or you know, obviously if they have it on their property. But yeah, came out nice. I polyurethaned it, sealed it with stain and sparathane, so it'll be protected from bugs and weathering. And you know, I recommend definitely putting a coat on every 6 months or every year. Just because it does tend to weather, and you know, it'll dry out a little because it's so full of water, and it'll start cracking a little. And the more we put in the sparathane and the polyurethane, the more it'll protect it. It's kind of like a gluish resin, you know, and it will soak in the tree too, because this tree is like a sponge, so it'll soak in and it'll dry out. And so you got to put more on at least every year, I recommend. So, and then, you know, I mean, it'll last forever if you continue to coat it and seal it. All right, and that's it.
Right on.